Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. You know, have you ever picked up a book, maybe expecting one thing, just drawn in by the cover or the description?
Oh, absolutely. Happens all the time.
Right. And then you open it, and it unfolds into something so much bigger, so much more profound, like a guide for parts of your life you never even thought it would touch.
Yeah, real discovery.
Exactly. It's like finding this whole hidden tapestry of wisdom. And that's exactly the kind of experience we're diving into today with Elif Shafak's amazing novel, The 40 Rules of Love.
A huge global phenomenon, this book.
It really is. It's resonated with millions, and not just as a story, but as something, well, deeper. It offers these layers of meaning that just stick with you,
Yeah.
long after you finish reading. It's just, incredibly rich.
And I think what grabs you immediately, right from the start, is its structure. It's quite unique. Shafak weaves together these two different stories, set centuries apart. But they aren't just running side by side.
No, they really talk to each other.
Precisely. They reflect and illuminate each other. They show you these universal truths that somehow work across all that time.
Right.
So you've got Ella Rubinstein's journey, very modern day, a woman sort of finding herself again.
Right.
And then, bam, you're back in the 13th century. You're witnessing this incredibly intense, life-changing relationship between Shams of Tabriz, this wandering mystic.
Dervish. Right.
A dervish, yes. And Rumi, the famous scholar who, well, becomes the poet of love, we all know.
So they're like mirrors, these timelines.
Perfect way to put it. Mirrors showing us how similar our search for meaning really is, no matter the era.
Okay, so if you've heard of the book, you're probably thinking, okay, Sufism, mysticism, faith, love.
Which it definitely is, all of that.
Absolutely. It delivers on that promise 100%. But here's the twist for our deep dive today. We're digging into something maybe a little unexpected. We want to uncover how the book's spiritual lessons, its insights into love and connection, are actually, well, surprisingly relevant to something really practical. Money, financial balance, how we manage our finances in, your everyday life.
Okay, that might sound like a bit of a leap to some people.
I know, right? It feels unconventional. But stick with us because the connections, they're not just there, they're really powerful and I think pretty insightful.
Well, if you connect this to the bigger picture, it actually makes a lot of sense. The principles the book talks about: balance, self-awareness, responsibility, managing your inner world.
Yeah.
Those same ideas are incredibly applicable to our financial lives. It's about more than just, accumulating cash. It's about cultivating real financial wisdom.
Financial wisdom, I like that.
Yeah, the novel kind of subtly shows us that how we manage our emotions, our spiritual path, our relationships. It has these direct parallels to how we handle our money, even if we don't see it.
So it's like a balanced life includes balanced finances.
Essentially, yes. A life lived with intention and awareness that wisdom naturally extends everywhere, including, your wallet.
So what's our goal here for you, our listener? Well, our mission today is to pull out these nuggets of wisdom from the 40 Rules of Love and offer a fresh way to look at things, bridging that gap between, say, spiritual growth and practical money management. We want to show how these worlds, which seem so separate...
They're not really separate at all.
Exactly. They're deeply connected. They offer tools not just for a richer inner life, but maybe a richer, more balanced financial life, too.
So get ready for maybe a few aha moments.
Yeah, hopefully. Things that might just make you look at your bank account and maybe even your heart a little differently. Okay, let's start by really getting into this tapestry, these two lives woven together. First, Ella Rubinstein, modern day.
Right. Ella.
She's described as a middle-aged American housewife, living a life she calls safe but unfulfilling.
And that phrase.
Yeah.
Safe but unfulfilling. Wow. It hits home for a lot of people, doesn't it?
It really does.
It speaks to that place where, comfort and routine have sort of gradually taken over from passion or real self-discovery.
Like, the life looks good on the outside.
Exactly. Picture it.
Yeah.
Maybe everything's neat, organized, the laundry's folded, meals planned, the rhythm of family life just ticking along predictably.
Okay.
It sounds okay, but underneath, there's often this quiet desperation, a feeling that something vital is missing. She's probably done everything society expected,
Yeah.
Good wife, good mother.
Made compromises along the way.
Quiet compromises, yeah. Maybe without even fully realizing how much of herself she put aside. Her life is this well-built comfort zone, but maybe that inner spark feels dimmed. or maybe never got the chance to truly ignite.
Yeah, it's like this carefully constructed life, but maybe a bit hollow inside, and that emptiness is starting to surface, and then the catalyst arrives. Almost quietly, but it's powerful. She reads manuscripts for literary agencies.
Full-time job, bro.
Yeah, and she gets this one manuscript, and from the moment she starts reading, it just starts taking apart the comfortable world she's built.
The title alone is provocative.
Sweet blasphemy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It hints at challenging norms right away, doesn't it?
It really does.
And the act of reading itself, usually so solitary, maybe an escape, it here becomes this engine for, like, deep personal change.
It forces introspection.
Totally. The manuscript acts like a mirror, showing her parts of herself she hasn't looked at, questions she's pushed down.
It's amazing how powerful a story can be. Which makes you ask, right? What are the manuscripts in our lives?
Well, that's a great question.
What are those things? Maybe a conversation, a piece of art, an article that suddenly make us reevaluate everything.
Yeah.
Ella, just by engaging with this story about ancient wisdom and love, starts questioning her own life, her marriage, her values, everything.
It shows the power of narrative, right? How it can get past our defenses.
Definitely. She's not just reading a book for work. She's kind of rediscovering herself through these characters from another time. Their journey unlocks something dormant in her.
Okay, so let's step into that manuscript now. Back to the 13th century, Konya.
A vibrant place back then, intellectually, spiritually, a real crossroads.
And we meet Shams of Tabriz and Rumi. Let's start with Shams. He's a wandering dervish. What does that really mean?
Well, in Sufism, the mystical path within Islam, dervishes are often part of spiritual orders focused on divine love. It can involve ascetic practices, ecstatic devotion, and often challenging the status quo.
And Shams was particularly unconventional.
Oh, very. Free-spirited, not tied down by possessions or what people thought. His whole focus was this direct, intense connection with the divine. A radical figure, really.
And Rumi, at this point.
Rumi is the opposite in many ways. He's established, a respected scholar, theologian, a pillar of the community, maybe a bit rigid, intellectual, grounded in texts and tradition.
So polar opposites almost.
In their approach, yes. And Shams arrives not really as a typical teacher, but more like a catalyst, a disruptor.
To shake things up.
Exactly. To ignite Rumi's spirit. Shams' teachings, which become the 40 Rules of Love, aren't just abstract ideas. They're profound insights challenging dogma, pushing for a deeper personal connection to God.
Like that rule about the heart being the guide, not the head.
Precisely. The way to truth is through the heart, not the head. That directly challenges Rumi's whole way of being. These rules are practical guidelines for living a life soaked in divine love, often pushing boundaries of what was considered, well, acceptable or even sane back then.
So Shams was controversial.
Hugely. His methods, his directness, he was a revolutionary force in Rumi's world.
And the effect on Rumi, it's just huge.
Seismic is a good word for it. Their connection, so intense, so transformative. It literally turns Rumi from this respected scholar into the passionate poet of love we know.
It's not just a small shift.
No, it's a complete metamorphosis. He sheds that intellectual armor, embraces emotional, spiritual openness. His soul just blossoms.
But it wasn't easy, right? Their relationship caused problems.
Oh, absolutely. It challenged every societal norm. It caused huge controversy, misunderstanding, even hostility from Rumi's own circle. People didn't get it.
But it led to his enlightenment.
Yes, it fueled that incredible outpouring of poetry that still speaks to us today. It's its ultimate example of how a deep soul connection can just redefine everything, your purpose, your identity, your legacy.
Pushing him from the known to the unknown.
Exactly. From the comfortable and predictable to the profoundly transformative.
So we've seen Ella's journey start and Rumi's transformation begin. Let's pull back and look at the main themes, the core threads of love in this novel, because it's not just romantic love, is it?
Not at all. That's central to the book's message. It challenges that narrow view. It pushes us towards something much bigger, more expansive, universal, really.
So what does that broader love include?
Well, the book really details it as this blend of compassion, deep faith, and a conscious connection to the divine that you find in everything.
Like seeing the sacred everywhere.
Yes. So it's not just about finding the one person. You said it was a little earlier. It's about finding the all, that connection within yourself, with other people, with the whole universe.
Love for humanity, for yourself, for the journey.
Exactly. A love for the spiritual path itself. An awareness of these forces that connect us all. It's about opening your heart beyond just personal attachments towards this feeling of universal belonging.
Where the divine isn't just out there, but in everything.
From the smallest detail to the biggest cosmic picture.
And this bigger idea of love, it fuels transformation. That's another huge theme.
Absolutely central. Both Ella and Rumi, despite being worlds apart, go through these complete fundamental changes once they open up to this boundless love.
How does it look for Ella?
For Ella, it's moving from passively accepting her life.
That safe but unfulfilling life.
Right, moving from that to actively seeking self-discovery, taking control. She goes from being a spectator in her own life to being the driver, finally grabbing the reins.
And for Rumi?
His is this incredible shift from, the rigid intellect to intuitive flow, from academic to an artist of the soul.
Trading texts for poetry.
He literally casts aside the books and debates that defined him to embrace this raw, passionate expression of divine love through poetry.
And you mentioned these transformations aren't easy.
Rarely are, right? If we connect this to our own lives, real transformation often means taking apart the comfortable structures we've built.
Emotional ones, mental ones.
All of them. And it usually involves facing fears, breaking old habits, letting go of identities we've clung to, maybe for security or just because society expected it.
It sounds painful.
It can be disorienting, definitely, but ultimately profoundly liberating, like the whole caterpillar to butterfly idea.
Yeah.
It's a necessary shedding of the old skin.
And guiding these changes are the 40 rules themselves, the spiritual wisdom in them. What are some key principles?
The book really emphasizes things like acceptance, patience, humility, and that really big one, letting go of ego.
Okay, let's break those down a bit. Acceptance.
Acceptance here means really embracing what is, not constantly fighting reality or wishing things were different, recognizing life's flow, bumps and all.
Not resignation, but acknowledgement.
Exactly. Seeing things clearly without judgment.
And patience. We're not great at that these days.
Tell me about it. But the book shows patience as understanding that real growth, deep understanding, true wisdom. It just takes time.
You can't rush it.
Nope. You need willingness to wait, to observe, to let things unfold naturally without forcing outcomes.
Humility.
Humility is about seeing your place in the bigger picture, moving beyond arrogance or self-importance, realizing you're an important part, but still just a part, of something vast and interconnected.
Letting go of the me.
Pretty much. And that leads right into the last one.
Letting go of ego, which sounds hard.
It's probably the most challenging, but maybe the most freeing. It means detaching from that need for importance, the fear of what others think, the attachment to external approval.
Stripping away the masks.
Yes. Getting down to who you really are, authentically, underneath all the layers we build up. These principles together, they're like a blueprint for a more meaningful, connected life.
Okay, so beautiful spiritual principles, profound transformations. Now we get to the big question. You, listening, might be thinking, okay, lovely story about dervishes and housewives, but what does this actually have to do with my budget, my savings, my retirement plan?
It's a fair question.
Totally fair. And yeah, maybe the connection seems a bit thin at first glance, but this is where it gets really interesting. This is the core of our deep dive today.
And the answer is actually a lot. It's truly fascinating when you look closely.
Really?
Yeah. Shams and rules, they're all about spiritual management, right?
Yeah.
Emotional balance, living with purpose. But they teach these deep principles like detachment from greed, the importance of responsibility, the wisdom of patience, the freedom you find in discipline.
Okay, I can start to see.
And those exact principles apply with surprising precision to how we manage money, whether we realize it or not.
So the philosophy is universal.
That's the idea. The way you approach living a balanced, purposeful life, it extends everywhere, from your inner spiritual core right out to your tangible material world. Money isn't just numbers in this view.
It's a reflection.
It's a reflection, a tool, a resource that shows our values, our choices, our wisdom. If you manage your inner world with insight, that insight can and should spill over into how you manage your outer world, especially finances.
Okay, let's dig into these connections now. Let's draw some direct lines. Take that rule about balance and patience.
Right.
In the book, love needs this delicate balance, give and take, passion and peace, holding on and letting go, and it needs huge patience for growth. It doesn't just happen overnight.
Okay, so the financial parallel.
Think about overspending. Isn't that seeking immediate gratification, creating a huge imbalance by living beyond your means?
Yeah, definitely. It mirrors that imbalance.
Yeah.
Shams warns about chasing quick highs instead of building something sustainable.
And impatience in finance, that's the get-rich-quick mentality, right? Wanting instant returns, avoiding the slow, disciplined work of saving and investing.
Like wanting the epic love story after one date.
Exactly. And the consequences, they're weirdly similar. In relationships, imbalance leads to emotional debt. In finance, it leads to actual debt.
Both restrict your freedom, create anxiety.
Brutally, they lead to a less fulfilling life. So for you listening, where might you be out of balance financially? Are you patient with your long-term goals? Or are you chasing that quick fix, that illusion of instant gratification that ends up costing you more?
It's about recognizing if your financial actions align with that principle of long-term sustainable balance, just like a healthy relationship requires.
Okay, next rule. Detachment from ego. This was huge for Rumi.
Absolutely central to his transformation.
Shedding that self-important, possessive, fear-driven part of us to experience real connection. Love, Shams taught, is about surrender, not control or ownership.
Rule 24, you mentioned earlier, about the interconnected universe, really drives this home. Hurt others, hurt yourself. Love others, love yourself. It demands we drop the ego's illusion of being separate and superior.
So how does ego mess with our finances?
Oh, in so many ways. Think about ego-driven purchases. Buying stuff for status, to impress people, to feel better than others through possessions.
The fancy car, the designer labels.
Could be. Those things don't just drain your bank account. They often drain your real satisfaction. You end up chasing the next material high. Rumi learned to see past that superficial stuff.
He realized true worth wasn't in possessions.
Exactly. It was inner richness, connection. And that applies directly to money. Money should be a tool serving us, not a master controlling us through our ego.
When ego drives spending, money becomes a source of stress.
Yeah, comparison, anxiety, never feeling like you have enough. But when you detach from that ego drive, money can become a tool for enrichment, connection, making a difference, achieving your real values, not just feeding the ego.
So the question for the listener is,
when you make a big financial decision, ask yourself, is this truly serving my needs, my values, my long-term well-being? Or is my ego whispering, pushing me towards something that just offers that fleeting external pat on the back?
okay, let's talk about discipline and love. Shams showed that real lasting love isn't passive. It's not just a feeling that happens to you.
No, it requires active work, conscious effort, self-awareness, commitment to growth, understanding. It's an ongoing practice.
Like tending a garden.
Great analogy. You have to actively nurture it.
So how does this connect to money, discipline, and finance?
Well, financial management, seen through this lens, becomes a profound act of self-love and discipline.
Self-love, how so? Budgeting feels like restriction.
But maybe we can reframe that. What if budgeting isn't restriction, but a deliberate choice to create future freedom, peace of mind, the ability to live intentionally?
Okay, I see. Making choices now for your future self.
Exactly. It's discipline and mindful spending, diligent saving, thoughtful investing. It's understanding that small, consistent actions, just like small, consistent efforts in a relationship, add up.
They build security over time.
Significant personal freedom and security,
Yeah.
which allows you to make choices based on your values, not just based on scarcity or pressure.
So for you listening, think about how those small, consistent habits, maybe setting aside just a little bit each month, tracking expenses, how they compound into real freedom down the line.
It's a way of caring for your future self, ensuring you have the resources to live the life you truly want, aligned with your deeper values.
And the last rule we'll focus on, generosity.
A beautiful one.
The book emphasizes generosity of spirit, empathy, giving without expecting anything back. Love expands when it's shared.
Right. Remember Rule 14. Try not to resist the changes. Let life live through you. How do you know that the side you are used to is better than the one to come? That speaks to a generosity in accepting life's flow, giving yourself over to it.
So how does generosity apply to finance? It seems counterintuitive to accumulating wealth.
Well, it challenges that purely acquisitive, sort of hoarding mentality about money. The myth is that wealth is just about how much you can pile up for yourself.
But the book suggests something different.
It implicitly argues that true wealth isn't just gathering. It's also about circulation, how you use your resources to benefit others, your community, the world.
So financial literacy isn't just about personal gain.
Not entirely. It should also include learning how to give wisely, supporting causes you believe in, investing in community upliftment.
And this creates abundance.
Often, yes. Generosity, done with intention, can create this profound sense of abundance, not just financially maybe, but certainly in well-being. Purpose. There's often a reciprocity. What you put out with good intention tends to come back, maybe in unexpected ways.
So beyond just earning and saving for yourself,
The question for you is, how are you intentionally weaving giving into your financial life? How can you use your resources, not just for personal security, but to experience that holistic wealth where your money contributes to something bigger and deepens your own sense of purpose?
wow. Okay, this really starts to challenge our usual thinking, doesn't it? Seeing how love and money, these seemingly separate things, are so connected. Let's push this even further. Ella, she risks everything for love, for self-discovery.
A huge leap, leaving that safe but empty life for the complete unknown. It takes immense courage, and it's definitely risky.
So the discussion point, do we sometimes risk our financial stability for temporary pleasures?
That's the crucial distinction, isn't it? Ella's risk was motivated by this deep need for transformation. What motivates our financial risks?
Like impulse buys, keeping up with trends, subscription traps.
Exactly. Those are often risks taken for fleeting gratification, a quick hit that doesn't last. It's very different from a calculated risk like investing in education, starting a well-planned business.
Risks aimed at growth.
Right. Those align with long-term evolution. But reckless spending, unsustainable debt for luxuries, gambling. That's different. That's not Ella's kind of courage. It's often masking something else.
Yeah.
So are financial risks for genuine growth or just quick fixes for deeper desires money can't satisfy?
And Rumi's journey, learning to see beyond materialism, moving from scholarly status, that material knowledge, to divine love, transcending worldly attachments.
A profound shift.
Which brings us back to that classic question, can money buy love? Or is love just richer than money?
It's the age-old dilemma. And look, money is practical. It provides security, comfort, opportunities. It can definitely create a less stressful environment where love can grow more easily. It removes obstacles.
Sure.
But the message from Shafak, from Rumi's transformation, seems clear. Genuine connection, spiritual fulfillment, deep unconditional love, that stuff is inherently richer. It's beyond price.
Rumi gave up status for spiritual connection.
He did, which strongly suggests true worth, lasting happiness, is inner wealth, love, compassion, connection, not external stuff. Money opens doors, yes. But can it open the heart the way Shams opened Rumi's?
The book seems to say no.
Unequivocally, I think. True, transformative love operates on a different currency altogether.
And finally, Shams himself, the ultimate challenger of comfort zones.
He didn't just suggest change, he actively disrupted Rumi's life, pushed him relentlessly to grow, challenged everything.
So does this apply financially? Do we need to step out of our financial comfort zones to grow our wealth, our understanding?
I think it's a critical insight. Whether it's spiritual growth or financial growth, real progress almost always happens at the edge of your comfort zone.
What does a financial comfort zone look like?
Sticking with familiar habits, even if they're not great. Avoiding learning about investing because it feels scary. Not negotiating for what you're worth. Fearing change.
We all do that sometimes.
Absolutely. But growth, more wealth, better financial literacy, new income sources usually requires stepping into that uncomfortable space.
Learning new skills, taking calculated risks.
Enduring temporary discipline for a bigger payoff later. It really raises that question for you, the listener. What financial discomfort are you willing to embrace for long-term growth?
Is there a Shams in your financial life nudging you?
Maybe an inner Shams, pushing you, maybe uncomfortably, to evolve how you think about and handle money.
So as we start to wrap up this deep dive, it's just so clear, isn't it? The 40 Rules of Love is way more than just a mystical love story or a historical novel.
Oh, much more. It's this intricate exploration of being human, of transformation, of finding purpose.
And kind of unexpectedly, it's also this powerful guide to living with more awareness, more intention.
Right. It shows so clearly that the principles running our deepest spiritual and emotional lives are mirrored profoundly in our practical, everyday financial choices. It makes a case for a holistic life, inner and outer worlds totally connected.
And that universal truth seems to be management, balance, purpose, they're key everywhere.
Absolutely. For love, for money, for everything.
Love without wisdom, without balance, leads to heartbreak. And money without management, without discipline, without purpose. Well, it leads to lack of freedom, lack of peace, even if you have a lot of it.
It's understanding they aren't separate issues. They reflect each other. The wisdom you cultivate in one area gives you tools for the others. It's all one journey, really.
So for you, listening, here's a final thought to chew on, building on everything we've talked about today. Imagine your financial life itself is a sacred text, your own personal, sweet blasphemy. What rules of love, what principles would you find written in its pages based on your own experiences with money?
That's a powerful reflection.
Yeah. What rules unique to your journey could transform your relationship with money and maybe ultimately with yourself? Think about it not just as dollars and cents, but as this ongoing story, a story of your values, your discipline, your generosity, and your amazing potential for growth.